wouldn't have found Lori. You wouldn't have found Carl. And you sure as wouldn't have found any of us.
Daryl is a man of many noises, but this was an unexpected one. Of course, before we begin with this video, make sure you subscribe or you are most certainly a Nicholas. Don't be like Nicholas, just subscribe and you'll be more like Rick. Just don't be a Nicholas. And talking of Nicholas, make sure you join my Discord server, it's just been created. Maybe you've got a theory that you want people to see, maybe you want to ask me something. Make sure you join by clicking on the link in the description or the pinned comment. I'll see you there. Now in today's video I've got some really unexpected news. Just like in my last video, it's based off of rumours, but from a trusted source. I say a trusted source because this is not the first time they've been right about something that no one else knew about, but they did. I'm going to read you what this says first and then discuss it after, because it's gonna need discussing. This news is so exciting and good for The Walking Dead that I think this could make Season 11 the best season so far. If The Walking Dead redeeming itself after Season 8 didn't save The Walking Dead, then this most certainly will. Sources close to We Got This Covered, the same ones who told us Bill Murray is returning to Ghostbusters, and the Transformers series is being rebooted, both of which were correct, say that the Fear the Walking Dead characters will cross over into The Walking Dead in late Season 11. This crossover will be achieved by having Lenny James Morgan Jones bring the Fear crew across the country to meet his old friends Alexandria. Fans will know there was a reference to this happening in the spin-off's 5th season, although it didn't end up going ahead at the time. The crossover we're told is most probably going to take up an episode of The Walking Dead Season 11. So that is some massive news right there. That's a major crossover that's extremely likely to happen. Now, of course, it's just reportedly. AMC have not confirmed it, nor have they announced it. But, like I said, it's a trusted source. It's really likely to happen. It does sound like some major lie that they've said this is going to happen in Season 11. But they've been right before. They've never made things up. They've never been wrong about these things. I do think it's weird that they haven't called Season 6 the final season of Fear. If they come to Alexandria, surely they'd stay. Whatever events take place, they're going to end up in The Walking Dead, so that means a time jump for sure. If they're appearing in Season 11, we would already be seeing what happened to them after the 6 years. So I think after the first half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, we would be told that this would indeed be the last one. I think this is the best thing that could have happened to The Walking Dead. I think it needs this. It needs all these characters, because Fear the Walking Dead has some really good characters, as we know. I mean, Morgan's been tainted slightly because of his tedious story, but to bring characters like Alicia and John to the show is really, really good, and especially, like I said, for the Commonwealth story arc, you need an armory of characters. An armory of all the best characters that you've collected and that are remaining. Of course, the characters you've got in Season 10 are okay, but even then, the finale is going to be taking some of them away, for sure. Think of the characters like Strand and Daniel meeting Daryl, Carol. Excluding the Commonwealth-related characters, I would hate to see some more characters like Yumiko and Magna. They're okay, but to see more new characters with these brand new stories that aren't necessary for the Commonwealth would be really tiring, not just for me, I think for most viewers. So instead of doing that, bring new characters in, but just from Fear. Dwight, of course, would be threatened by Daryl. Daniel would likely find out about Abraham's death through Daryl. He'll wonder why he's so angry at Dwight. That's why. Remember when Michael Cudlitz said he was returning to some kind of spin-off or movie? None of us knew what it was. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious that it was Fear. That could likely just happen in Season 11 now. He could return as Abraham in a flashback scene, whilst Daryl is telling Daniel what Dwight did. I can already see Strand becoming a character at the Commonwealth that is part of the court with Yumiko. Of course, this big crossover would have characters like Alicia become lead of The Walking Dead, and I think it absolutely needs that. With Rick and Michonne gone, you can't deny that having Morgan come back and lead again, having Alicia, having John even, It would be so good to have this many big characters on the front again. I think one of the main issues of The Walking Dead right now is it does lack presence. Whether that's because Rick is gone or not, we've simply lost so many characters and the introduction of other characters becomes almost annoying or tiring. And that's just sometimes. I think Season 10 of course was really, really good. But if it's not become obvious already, like I've said, we are going to lose more in the finale anyway. We're going to get a few more characters with the Commonwealth, and then to make that even better, in the second half of Season 11, we could be getting the Fear characters, and I think if this is 100% true and this does happen, I think this is the best thing The Walking Dead could have done. We've known that ever since Morgan joined Fear the Walking Dead, that bringing all these Fear characters to Alexandria would be a big possibility, and it's something that I think became even annoying when he mentioned going there, then didn't. Of course, Fear the Walking Dead just has to have its own story, but I think with Season 5 being as poor as it was, now is a better time than ever to go. And the most interesting thing about the timing of hearing this news is that it's right after hearing about the Daryl movie, and it's from the exact same source. And apart from Gabriel and Negan, no other characters really know about the CRM in the main show right now, do they? Now, who has? Morgan, Alicia and Althea have seen the CRM. They've seen the helicopters. So once all these characters unite and they talk about what they've seen through the years, what happened to Rick, who they've lost, who has left and how, it will all become clear. There's no better reason or time for Daryl to leave, especially with all these Fear characters occupying the main show. Daryl wouldn't leave open-endedly and have his movie in a year's time. He simply wouldn't appear for a few episodes and film his movie. I don't think he'll automatically go and find Rick Grimes straight away. What's gonna happen is he's gonna become aware of the CRM. Gabriel, Negan, Alicia, Morgan and Althea all knowing about what they've seen, who they've met, with Judith or possibly Virgil telling Daryl about what actually happened and the possibility of his survival. Daryl would become completely clear on what happened to Rick. He'd have extra information for Michonne, because Michonne still doesn't know about the CRM. Of course, we can assume she'll find more out from this new group, whether this new community is related to the Fear characters or not. But I do think Daryl and Michonne will most certainly find Rick himself when they're together. It's almost like Daryl's been given a fast track to finding Rick. I do think they're safe to do that now with the Fear characters being in it. Not to say they can make up for Daryl's absence, but just to say he'll be back in a bit. But in the meantime, look at this big crossover and look at all these big characters that we've now got. We don't really need him right now, although he does need to return. I think if this news turns out to be true, it can only be good for the show. After all the bad things that The Walking Dead has went through and all the stuff that's happened to it, I think this is only good for it. Having all these new characters from Fear, it would be a big crossover event, and I think it's only promising for it. It would be so cool to have these characters unite and meet for the first time. Just characters like Daniel alone would make The Walking Dead a lot better. It would make what happened with Dwight in Season 5 almost clever, the fact we've seen this extra story, and it adds depth and it makes more sense that he would return later. It makes Season 5 of Fear almost weirdly forgivable, the fact that these characters were bad, they were awful, but to then join The Walking Dead later and in Season 11, having the characters better themselves and make this show a lot more entertaining, I think it makes up for that in a big way. But I want to know what you think. Are you happy with this news? Would you rather Fear the Walking Dead stayed its own thing still? Do you wish more characters from The Walking Dead crossed over to Fear or vice versa? What do you think this means for Season 6 of Fear? Do you think this is the final one? Of course, vote in the poll and comment down below what you think. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you press the like button. It helps me out and will get this video more seen. Of course, if you did enjoy it, then make sure you check out my other videos. Watch this video where we talk about the Daryl movie news. It's by the same source, and we talk about what's going to happen in it and what it means for his time in The Walking Dead. We talk about the timeline of these movies and spin-offs and what it means for these characters and, of course, Rick Grimes. Check this one out to see who I think will get Andrew's comic death in the finale. I think it's going to be a massive, major character. I think it's extremely likely. Make sure you go and check it out, and of course, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.